Just because the Israeli government has adopted Zionism, it doesn't mean that all Israelis are Zionists. So anyway, back to the story, I digress. So I went into the shop and I said hello, good morning, had a chat, and this is normal amongst all shops in New York. If you lived in New York, that this is normal. Maybe in Bahrain, it's not common that you go and say hello and have a chat with the person that works in the shop and have a friendly conversation. But this is normal in all shops in New York. I could tell like from the way they were looking at me and the way they spoke to me, they sort of assumed that I was Jewish as well, because I get that a lot in New York. I used to get it a lot. I used to be mistaken for a Jew a lot, and it might just be the way that I look, and I don't know, it just happened. So I used to go there daily, and every time I would go and we would just have another conversation. And yes, sometimes, of course, after the first few days or a couple of days, I also used to speak to them sometimes in Hebrew, because I've picked it up from some friends who taught me Hebrew. So I guess obviously that didn't help. That also, added to the fact that why they felt or they thought I was Jewish. And every day I would leave some spare change in the boxes that they had, whether as tip or as a donation. On the last day, one of the guys, as I was leaving, he said, "So I'll see you tomorrow." And I said, "No, actually today's my last day." And he said, "Oh, where are you? You're going back home?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he said, "Oh, like, where do you live? Are you from Tel Aviv?" And I said, "No, man, I live very far away from Tel Aviv." And he said, "Oh, we thought like, you're from Tel Aviv. You look like you have that, I don't know, style or something." Or I don't remember exactly what they said. But I said, "No, man, I'm very far away from there." And said, "Oh, where are you from?" And I said, "Bahrain." And when I said Bahrain, I kid you not, you could hear like a needle drop. Like the whole place went quiet. The whole place went, and like their eyes like lit up, and they were looking at each other and you could feel like the tension like in the air. You could, I don't know what the saying is, but you could cut it with a scissors or something. So I was in this Jewish place, this Jewish restaurant that I've been going for a week every day, buying food from, and they assumed for the whole time that I was Jewish. And suddenly I tell them I'm Arab, like it just went silent. It went dead. And then they asked me like, we are Jewish, right? And I said, yes, that's quite obvious, from the shop, from the Star of David, from the food, from the kosher. I spoke to you in Jewish. And they're like, "But then why are you here? Like how come that you're coming here every day and you're buying, and the change that you put in these boxes, they go into teaching children the Torah, and it takes them to school and helps them get an education. I mean, they're Jewish children, right? You are aware of this." And I told them, yes, I am aware. I read the box. In the box, there's a description that says all this money will go to a charity that supports young Jewish children who are from needy families and helps them get an education. And it is done through teachings of the Torah. So I told them, yes, I am aware. And I donated with my awareness. I didn't do it just because I had spare change and I want to get rid of it. I believe in the cause, and it's a beautiful thing to do. And when I was telling them this, it was like they were in such shock. They were looking at me as if I was an alien. Like they couldn't believe what I was saying. And they all, like, you could sense it, like they had this moment, like self-realization. They're like, "Oh my God, like this is unreal." And the guys, like everyone, they thanked me so much. And they said, "We never, ever had such an experience like this in our lives. We are used to, only Jewish customers coming to our restaurant, and then, other Americans or Christians or whatever, but never, ever have they've seen like an Arab or a Muslim come and act the way that I did, with them." And they never know. Probably many Muslims who looked like me or Arabs have come in and bought from them, and they assumed that they were Jewish and left without having a conversation, without saying anything. But when I did, it made a difference.